welcome back. Today we have episode 2, and I know I promised you guys some dyno numbers and weigh-in numbers. I was not able to get that. I did go to a shop, but they were not able to dyno the car, so I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research and find one that can. But we have an exciting day ahead of us. I'm about to meet with someone that you all know, and it's going to be interesting to get feedback as a passenger in real time and see what he thinks of the car. So stay tuned.
So excited. I've wanted to drive this car since I first viewed it. Should I honk at him? Can I honk? Oh! Alright. So far it drives like a car. It's very quiet in here, which is interesting. I'm not like hearing a lot of engine noise. We're at, we're high gear, so there's not a lot of engine noise expected, but I also don't hear any tire noise or any road noise or any wind noise, really. It's surprisingly quiet inside this car. It almost is like an actual luxury car. Cars are all about expectations. So I expected this to be like weird, and like Italian. Oh boy, look at that. So quick. What is that noise? That noise is that it thinks I'm going over a lane line? Yep. It like gives you the bumping sound that you would get if you were actually going over a lane line.
You can disable it though, so that's good.
That's a good thing. But it has all these features. Like it has that. It has forward collision. It has all this stuff. Like you want from a real luxury car. The Maserati Giulia, you got to make a ton of feature compromises. This thing, it seems like you don't really have to on that much. Oh, that sound. I can't wait to really open it up. You can just tell instantly how direct the steering is. My God, it's direct. You just move it a little bit and the car just goes exactly there. Not a lot of sedans feel this direct.
When you put it in race mode, it automatically gives you the stiffest setting.
Yeah, I can tell. Man, it's so fast, and it's so fast from a speed you're already going. If you put your foot down at 40, it feels just wildly fast. So this is like 50. It's crazy. The shifts are abrupt, but they're almost like fun. What is that road? Did you see that? It's just like wide open space. Boy. It just feels, it's so eager to go. It's like really, really quick. I love the fact that, despite the fact that it's a V6, you don't feel like you're giving up anything. I really don't feel like I'm losing anything because I chose a V6 instead of the V8 that all the rivals have. Go ahead. God, it's crazy. Crazy how fast it is, especially because it just looks like a little car on the outside, and it looks like, oh, it's a pretty car, and you don't really think it's going to be brutal, and then it turns out to be really, really fast. What is that guy doing? It's Honda Odyssey there.
He was waiting for you.
Boy, it just feels like you can steer it for ages. You can become very confident in this car. This car is just as fast and as exciting and as fun, both in terms of acceleration and handling, as any of the two-door cars that I drive, which is no easy feat. You had a door, you had a huge back seat, all that stuff. You're adding weight, you're changing the shape of the car and the design. It's also surprising to me because, like, we're talking about an Alfa here, right? This isn't a... This isn't like, BMW and Mercedes have been in this game forever. Alfa, although most American car enthusiasts don't know it, Alfa primarily has built front-wheel drive cars in the past. So this is almost like Americans will view this as a first effort, and it's like, holy crap. And let's face it, Alfas in recent years, most of the Alfas, even the ones in Europe, have gotten pretty boring. They haven't made a car like this in a long time. I feel like this is one of those cars where you can dart around traffic like a crazy person. I'm not going to do that, but
that's me.
I just get the sense that you can just do these little, because the car is not large. It's one of the things I love most about it. One of the things I'm starting to not like as much about BMWs is they're just growing and growing. This car is quite small, and it's just so darty. I have so much confidence already in the handling and the steering capability of this car, and then I know how fast it is, so I can just drop the throttle or turn the wheel quickly and instantly change where I'm going. This guy's a Hawaii license plate. This only happens in the DC area. You only see crap like that here. Hawaii Audi. What the hell is that? Who is this guy? Right? Am I right? Like, what is this person doing? I want to know his story. Nobody comes to Philly from Hawaii. People come to Philly like, oh god, I don't want to be here anymore.
Why would you leave Hawaii?
What's that guy doing?
To go anywhere.
Buddy, you had it. You were doing it right. You had your hybrid Lexus. It's off here. How close are we to finding one of these? Oh. Whoa. Sorry. I would have done.
I think for this stretch you should put it in race.
Race?
Yes.
I was thinking you were going to be like, let's go back to normal mode. Don't want to kill us. Alright, so now we're in race here. Best race experience with shifter and manual, it says. Alright, if you say so. It really fires off the shifts a lot quicker in race mode. It's amazing how much this car changes when you go from mode to mode. The handling changes, the ride changes, the shifting changes, the acceleration changes, and the sound changes. Very few cars make that many alterations when you know, just from a couple flicks of a switch. People from all over the country. This is the thing. You're driving the Beltway, we can see people from all over the country. Apparently, all over the world, we get 2 Italians in this one. So fast. So fast. Get in trouble very easily with this car.
The first night I picked her up, I went 106, not on purpose. I did not know how fast it was going. And then I realized it was in triple digits, and I said, no, we're in Virginia. This is reckless. This is prison time.
Yeah, it is. It really is. This is so impressive. I can't believe how much really changes. When I'm in race mode, it really feels like we're in a completely different car. In the end, though, this thing is just amazing. I love it. I totally love it. Which way am I?
Yeah, when I commute to work, so it's like an hour, and I put it in race mode almost all the time, let's face it. And then after a while, I start to get nauseous, and I'm like, why am I nauseous? And then I realize it's in the different mode.
Right.
So,
yeah. Oh, I just feel like I can, oh god, that's way too fast. I just feel like I could go so fast so quickly, and also I feel so in control, and that's the other thing. I know I'm going too fast, but like, I feel like between the steering, the handling, and what this car, how stable this car feels, I feel like it's totally capable of that, and that's what I would tell the police officer if he pulled me over. Man.
I was debating actually the darker blue, the white or the red, and then I called my dad, and he's Italian, of course, and he said, if you don't get anything, like if you don't get red, I do not know you. You're out of my will, and I'll never speak to you again.
I mean,
so
the car is so beautiful in this red, and it's obviously like the color for the car, right? And that's what Alfa has all the.
Yeah, and this is the tri-coat.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming out and testing the car. I would
Yes.
love your input on it.
Yeah, well, thank you for letting me drive it. It's not often that someone throws me the keys to an $80,000 car. I loved it. I thought it was great. I love the power, the performance, the sound is so good. I really was kind of expecting it to be sort of almost as good as like its competitors, but it's not. It's like every bit as good. I thought, you know, it sort of would bank on looks like some of these cars kind of do, and it actually feels like it's every bit as good as this car. It's really impressive.
So you think it's better than an M3 or other competitors?
I would buy it instead of M3 for sure,
Okay.
but I like kind of like weirder stuff. I can see why people would want an M3. The biggest problem with this car that I would have is like, how is it gonna is it gonna hold up long term? What is the resale value gonna be like? Is it gonna be reliable? That sort of thing. And that's people who are worried about that stuff are gonna get the M3 instead. But like I think that this is cooler than that, so I would get it instead of M3.
What's the quirkiest fact for you?
That's an interesting question. You know, I think the quirkiest thing about this car is that it isn't that quirky. Like, I was thinking because it would be an Alfa, I've driven a lot of Alfas, older ones, that are nuts. Like the last sedan Alfa sold in the US, the 164, it had a center control stack that was just black buttons that were unlabeled. There was like 40 of them. It made no sense. This thing is like a usable car, like a regular usable automobile. And I think like that's the biggest quirk. Like we don't have to make weird compromises to have an Alfa.
So this could be also a family car.
You could use this as a car if you wanted to. It's not, you don't have to get in and be like, oh, I hate that it does that. Like, it just does normal things like a normal car should.
No need to get minivans, guys. You can get this one. That's fine.
Right. I've always said that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that was a lot of fun. I had a great time with Doug and Filippo, and I hope they did too. Stay tuned for episode 3, where I'll be attending a NASA high-speed autocross event. So that should be a lot of fun too. Ciao.